Yeah, hello. Today we're going to talk about data binding and followed by a few other things. Okay, so first of all, let's start. Let me open Eclipse. So, what is data binding? So, let it open. Yeah, here we are. So, data binding is nothing but converting string data type um, from the XML configuration file to the appropriate data of bean class is called data binding. So let me show that thing practically. So this is my project. I have two beans. Let me close all. So this is my project. Let me expand it. You can let me go to source main, and this is my configuration file where I have spring.xml, and coming to the this is my project where I have two beans. One is address. Okay, let me open it. Address. I have this instance variable and set a class and zero parameter as constructor. Next, I have the toString, and this is my second bean. I have the three instance variables. And this is the set a method, and along with it the constructor and the toString. So let me go to my app. Okay, before that, let me go to configuration file. Here, let me consider the first bean. The first bean, if you look at here, the bean ID is p, and my bean class is person, and the scope is singleton, and lazy init is equal to true. Okay, forget about all those things. But if you look at the properties, they're mentioned in codes. So anything which is mentioned in codes will be considered as string. So here we are giving name, ID, salary as string. Okay, the values are all are string. So how it's going to identify what kind of data type it is? So it will directly go to. So first of all, it will read this as string, and then it will go to person. Let me place my cursor and press F3. Yeah, F3. So here is my class. So first of all, it's going to read there, and it's going to person.class. So then it's going to read the first instance variable, and it's going to look at the data type. So here it is integer. So that's how it's going to identify. So each time it reads the property, it will go to person class and verify the data type there. So similarly, we have the address. We have the bean, second bean, ID is equal to a, and the class is address. Okay, and we have one property. So we have the name of the property is state, and the value we have given it in the double quotes, so which is string. So it's going to go to the address class, F3. So address class, it's going to check the state, data type. Here it is string. It's going to read, then it's going to set. Okay, so let me show that practically. Okay, let me save everything. Let me go to app.java. Here I have the main class, and let me run it as Java application. Here I'm running it as Java application, and I have the log4j2. So that's the reason I'm getting all this information. So here mine bean is singleton. That's forget about this thing. Yet object is created, and here it's created the instance, then the object is created, and here I got the state information. Okay, I commented few things, so let me uncomment that. Let me go to app.java, and let me go to spring.xml, and let me set the scope as okay, fine, it's done. Everything looks good now. Let me run it again. Run as Java application. So let me go to console. It's somewhere. Here it's created the instance of a P. The object is created. So for the person object, we have three properties. See, you can see property class type, property name, it's of the type string, property ID, it's of the integer, property salary, it's of double, found bean property salary of java.lang.double. So you can see here this is what happening. It's going to read even the class as property, and it will go to the going to search. The first of all, it's saying that cache property descriptors for the class. This thing, it has cached the properties. Okay, getting the bean for the class. This thing next it has cache. Next it has bean found class of the type. So you can see here it's reading name of the type string, PID of type integer, salary of type double. You can see it's reading. Let's go to the address class. So creating the instance of bean address object created, and you can see getting bean information for the class address, caching property descriptors for the class address, found bean property of the class, bean property for the state. What is the state? It's of the type string. So that's how it's going to go to the class. It's a respective class, which is nothing but bean. I'm going to read the data type. Okay. So that's about, this is known as a data binding. So data binding is nothing but the converting the string data type of the spring bean configuration file, converting string data type of the bean configuration file to the corresponding or to its respective class or its respective uh, bean class. If it is address, here it is string. For the state, it's string. If it is person, for the PID, it's integer. For the name, it is string. For the salary, it is equal to double. So it will convert the XML bean configuration file data type to the respective or corresponding bean class data type. It's called as a data binding. Okay. So that's the data binding. So now we are going to talk about few other things. Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me do go to spring.xml and remove this, or you can comment it. You can also comment it. I can comment. So I have commented this. So now I just have one bean in the spring.xml. Okay. So now let's talk about this thing. Now let me remove this bean as well. Let me remove everything. So this is my XML bean configuration file, and I don't have any kind of beans. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to the beans and select new bean. Okay. So let me give name ID as let me create for the person dot class. I'm going to say it's P and the name as name as um, pp. Okay, id is p and name as c. So what is the class? This is my class. Control space, enter. So id is p and name is pp. When I say next, it's going to ask for the properties. I'm going to say control space. I'm going to select name, and I'm going to give it as okay. And let me set other property. I'm going to select pay id, and I'm going to give the number as, and I'm going to select um, name again, salary. I'm going to set it as 10,000 D. Okay, I'm going to say okay. Now set all the properties. I will say finish. If you go to source, you can see here the ID is P, name is PP, and this is my class, and these are my properties. So if you look at these things, we can mention either ID or we can or either mention name, and we also have other thing, and mentioning or both these things is also optional. So even if I remove this, okay, let me try with this. So I have given id as p and the name as pp. Okay, so I can call either call with a p or I can either call with pp. So let's check with it. Let me go to app.java and remove this address get bean method. So I'm creating the container by using get bean. Here I have provided my bean id. So here I'm using bean id. So when I use bean id, we all know that it's going to work. So let me run. So I can see I got the value. So let me give name instead of ID. I'm going to go to spring.xml. I'm going to use name. Let me copy it and use that in my get bean method. So now I'm calling with the name instead of ID. So let me run and check again. Oh, even this one is working. I got the output. Okay. So even this thing is working fine. So I can call either with a name or with ID. Anything is fine. And um, what's going to happen if I remove just ID? Yeah, it's going to work. What's going to happen if I remove both the things? Let's check it. I'm going to remove both the things, both the name and the ID. Okay. So now I don't have any kind of name and ID for my bean. So let me go to the app.class. So as I don't have any kind of name or ID for my bean, I'm going to remove this thing. I'm going to simply call with my class. So I'm going to save and run as Java application. Now let's see. Oh, you can see I got the output. Here the person object is created and I got the output. Oh, so which means that even if I don't give ID or name, it's going to create the object and going to generate the output. Okay, generate the output. So that's the lesson learned. Now, now we have to find out. See, if you don't give the ID, what it's going to consider at the background. That's the important question which rises. You can see here it has creating the instance of the bean as it has given its own name. It has created with a package with a fully qualified package name dot class hash 0. So this is important learning. So if you don't mention name and ID, it's going to create the bean uh, with a complete package, fully qualified name of the person of that bean with a hash 0. So that's the learning. So if you don't mention name and ID in the bean, it's going to take the person class fully qualified name along with hash 0. Okay. So let's run. Let me add one more. Let me run it for the address. Okay. So let me go to spring.xml and let me remove this thing and create the bean. And in the bean I have I'm going to mention just I'm going to mention the uh, just the class, not mention. Okay, let me use both the copy it, and here my bean is person, and I have just only one property. What is that? See, and I'm going to name it as, what is the name? It's state, right? And I'm going to give the value as value as ts. I'm going to give as ts, then I'm going to state. So now I have the two beans. Let me go to app.java. So let me call the get bean for the address as well as person. So now you can see I have the get bean for the person and get bean for the address. And I have not given any kind of name for this both these beans, both for the address and for the person. Okay, so let's run and see how it's going to create the ID. Now you can see it has created the instance of the bean as with a fully qualified name of the address and with a hash 0, whereas for the person it has created with a fully qualified name of the person along with a hash 0. So if we don't mention ID and the name in the for the bean, it's going to take as this. Okay, that's our so I'm going to say that this is what we have discussed. Now let's go to the other topic. And okay, is the name or ID case sensitive? Let's check it. So let's say that I have ID here. ID is equal to I'm going to give it as P. Okay, and here I'm going to select ID as A. So let me go to the app.class and add that thing here. Now everything looks good. Now I'm calling with ID. So in the string.xml, it's small letter, small p and small a. So I have mentioned it the same here. Let me run. So it has created the instance of the bean a and created the instance of the bean p. Okay, and I got the output. So this is my output for the address, and for the person, this is my output. For the address and the person, this is my output. Okay, so let me change the bean name as p, capital P and to the capital A. Okay, but whereas in my spring.xml I have them as small in the small letters, P small and A small, and I have mentioned in my main class as I'm calling the get bean method with a capital letter of P and A. So let me run a check. Oh, we got some problem saying that first of all it's searching for the name for the bean P, It's saying that no bean named P available. So it's searching with a capital P, but where it's when it goes to spring.xml, it's going to search with a capital P, but capital P ID, but it will not find. So it's throwing the exception saying that no such bean definition exception. Okay, no bean name P available. So with this we got to know that yes, bean ID is this is our conclusion. Okay, and coming to the fourth point. So what if I have to call let me give it we have tried with the ID, right? Let's try with the name and run it. Yeah, even we got the exception, no bean named P available. Okay, so both the name and the ID are case sensitive. Okay, so let's say that I want to call, let's say that I have both ID is equal to ID as P and name as PP, and here for the address I have ID is equal to A, and for the name I have it as AA. Okay, so I can call either with the ID or with either with the name. Okay, so let's say that I want the other name, I want to call with some other name, I want to call with some other name. So what can be that thing? So for that we can let's try giving the multiple names here. So instead of I want to call with some other name, here I can call with P, or we can call with the name as PP. But if I want the third option, what can we do? Let's check that. I'm going to say P1. P1. Okay. So let's check. Whether I can call with P, I can call with a P1, and I can also call with a PP. So let me call with a P1. Let me save and call with a P1 here. Let me run a Java application. Open the console. It's saying that no bean name P1 available. Why? Why so? It's because it has considered this complete code as one ID. So when you call with a P comma, when you call with P comma P1 run a Java application, it's going to run. Okay, so that's the reason. So with this we got to know that we can't give multiple names in the ID. So let's try here. I will call with a as PP1. In the name I have given two values. One is PP and another one is PP1. We know that if I call with the PP, it's going to work. Let's try with the PP1. App.java, I'm going to call with PP1. Let's run. Oh, it's working fine. I got the output. So let me give the third value. So let me give PP2. Save, and let me change it here. Change it as PP2. Let me run. Oh, it's working fine. I got the output. Again, I got the output. So let me go change. Let me give one more name for this bean as PP3, and let me call with that name. Oh, it's working fine. I got the output. So here is the conclusion. We can give multiple alias names here. In the name attribute, we can give multiple names or alias names by the separator comma. We can also give colon. We can also use colon as a separate, and we can also use white spaces as a separator, and we can also use comma as separator. So I have three separators. One is semicolon, other one is white space, other one is semicolon. So let's check whether it's working or not. Yeah, it's working. So these are the three different kinds of separators. One is colon, other one is white space, other one is comma. So in the name, we can give multiple alias names and we can call with any of them. Okay. And okay, that's the thing. Okay. So we have given the alias name here. So we have one more point. So is ID. So ID we can't give multiple names, but we can have both the name and the ID can support special characters. Let's say that I have the ID as colon P. So let me call with that name. I'm going to call with as colon A, colon P, sorry, and let me give for the address as colon A. What happened? Okay. So here I have the ID as /p. Here my for the address it is /a. So when I give, let me run this. It went fine. In Spring.xml, I have the single /p, single /a. But whereas when I go to the main class, when I give single /p, it's saying that invalid escape characters. So for that, we need to provide multiple slashes. Even I have given the same. So with this, we got to know that we can use the special characters in the name or ID attribute. Okay. And let's talk about one more thing, alias name. Here we have given multiple alias names here. We also have one more tag. Let me come out of it. Enter control space. Here we have alias. Let me select that. And here I'm going to provide name of the bean. Let's say that my name of the bean is P, and I'm going to provide that one here. And alias name I'm going to say P1 comma P2 comma P3 P3 comma P4 comma 4 comma P P5. So I can give multiple names. Here what I've done is I have linked this bean to alias by using the ID. I have provided the ID of the bean as a name in the alias. So with this, it has linked to this one. So now I can call with the multiple names, alias names. So I can call with a P1, I can call with a P2, I can call with a P4 and all those things. Let me check that. Let me call with P5. Okay, P5. You can see the P5 is the alias name. So let me run a Java application. why I got this. I need to find it out. P5. Okay. Okay, let me stop here. We're going to talk about this at later point of time. Okay, for now, let me stop here now. In the next class, we are going to talk about, we can discuss about this